Well, this is my first video ever on my way to being a YouTube star, whatever. So first thing you're gonna do is go to your app store. I'm on the iPad app store. I typed in notebook for Golf Clash and I hit search. I already purchased it, so mine shows open, but this is what it looks like right here. Notebook for Golf Clash. I think it's $3.99, one-time fee. You never have to buy it again. So once you open that program, so I have it here. First thing you're gonna do is bag setup right here. And I can't get this button to look like an arrow, but that's the best I got. So you're gonna click that. When you come in here, these are gonna be, this is your active bag right here. These green, this is your active bag. These are all the clubs available. Categorized, drivers, woods, long irons, right down the list. Okay. What you're gonna do first is you're gonna set up your first bag, bag one. So bag one up here, right now it's called main, I believe, when you first go in. We're gonna hit this blue button right here to edit it. Now we can call it bag one. So I'm gonna back this out. I'm gonna go bag one. This is bag one in Golf Clash. Hit the edit button again right here to save it. Now we've got bag one listed right here. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go through the drivers and we're gonna match the driver strengths with what we actually own in Golf Clash. So I'm gonna do my rocket. I have a rocket 4, for instance, just making things up. I've got an extra mile 5. I got a big tupper 5. I got a quarterback 6. I got a rock 6. Thor's hammer 8. And of course, you got to have an APOC 8 for sure. Then we do the woods. Same thing. We just go through whatever woods we actually have. We want to set them all up. That way we've got quick access to them. And remember, as you upgrade them through the game, make sure you go back in here, because the last thing you want is to have, a cat 6 and you've upgraded it to 7 and now your numbers are slightly off. And on a 200-yard shot, that 0.1 that you're off could be 2 yards. You're not going to make it. You're going to miss. So do that with every one of your clubs. All your long irons, all your short irons, go through, tap on that, and put the right strength of club, whatever you have in there, okay? So then we're going to go back to the top. Once we've got all of these done, once we've done all of our sand wedges, rough, blah, 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 we've done them all. We're going to go back up to our active bag, okay? And we're going to make sure whatever's active in there, all you have to do is hit the corner. Like I'm going to hit right here in the top. So my extra mile is my active driver, okay? Then I come down here. My active wood is actually my Viper. So I'm going to click the top corner right here and it'll highlight my Viper. Then I come down here and my active long iron is the Goliath 1. So I'm going to click right here in the corner and that is going to highlight that club. Okay? On so forth and so forth on each one. Runner 1 is my active short iron. Then I come down here and my wedge. My active wedge is a skewer 1. So I'm going to click right here. That's going to activate it. Then my rough iron, my active one is Amazon 1. Lord forbid, that club sucks. Then we're going to go to sand wedge, and my active sand wedge is Houdini 1. So I'm going to click right there in the corner and activate that. Back to the top. These are my active clubs in Golf Clash. Excuse me. For bag 1. Okay? Now, for bag 2, what we're going to do is we're going to hit this plus arrow right here. So bag 1's done. We are matching Golf Clash exactly. Bag 2, we're going to hit plus right here. Hit plus. It's going to ask you for the bag name. Okay, so I'm going to click right there. And we're going to go bag. And I'm going to capitalize it. Keep them all. B-A-G. Bag 2. Okay. Then, right here, it's going to say copy from fresh bag. We don't want to do that. We want to copy from... I'm going to copy from bag 1. You could do fresh bag, but I'm going to copy from bag 1. And then I'm going to hit this button right here, create. Okay, so now bag 1 and bag 2 are absolutely the same, because most of us are using the same sand, wedge, rough iron, long iron, short iron. Most of us, just the only two differences is going to be your driver and your wood. But that's just me. You can have any clubs in your bag you want. But in this case, in my bag 2, I have an APOC 8. Okay, so in my bag 2, I'm going to click APOC 8. So when I click it here, it immediately puts it in my bag 2 as my driver. Down here under my wood, I actually have a Big Dog 7. So I'm going to click right here, Big Dog 7. The rest of my bag is identical. All the rest of my clubs are exactly the same in bag 1 and bag 2, except my driver and my wood. Okay? I'm done with bag 2. Now I can go up here, hit the plus iron, or the plus sign. Okay, now I'm going to go and I'm going to type in for bag 3. This is if you have all these bags. If you only have 2 bags, all you got to do is 2 bags. I got 5 bags. So I've got bag 3. I'm going to copy it from pull down, and I'm going to copy it from bag 2, and then I'm going to hit create. Now I've got bag 3 has been created. Right now it matches bag 2. In bag 3, I have Big Topper for every now and then when I need those long runs. So I'm going to click Big Topper. I clicked it here. It goes into my driver. And then my wood in my bag 3 is actually a Guardian for those times when I need a lot of backspin. So I'm going to click right here, add Guardian. Guardian goes up there. And then the rest of my bag is identical to my bag 1, 2, and 3. If it wasn't, then you could go down here to long irons. And if you got a backbone in your bag 3, you click right there. That puts backbone up here in your bag. There's bag 3. Bag 3 is done. Then you can do that again. Remember, if you're going to create a bag 4, you hit the plus sign, bag 4, and so on. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now. I think you guys got how to create 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're done. If you've set up, let's just say, for instance, we only have 3 bags. We're done. We have all of our clubs. They've all been down here. We've updated them all down here. We've created the 3 bags. We are done setting up our bags, okay? So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to hit the back arrow up here. Now, really the only thing we use in here is the bag setup, which we just did, and the wind assist. Wind assist is your main program, okay? Bag setup, wind assist. So I'm going to go into wind assist. This is our program, okay? We can walk through. This is, you hear them talking on some of the videos about a slider. This is slider. We'll talk about it in a minute. This is our wind setup. This is where we select how much, excuse me, not wind. This is the elevation. This is where we select how much the elevation is for that shot. Not the whole hole necessarily, but for that shot that we're getting ready to make, this is the elevation. When you first come in here, it's set on 5. We can hit the plus, let's say it's a 15. We can go to 15. Or if it's sitting there on 5, I can go here and immediately just hit 1, because that'll get me up plus 10 immediately. Or if it's a 35, I can hit this symbol and go straight to 35. Now, once that shot is over, I can hit this right here. This will reset, okay, back to 0. Remember, every hole has an elevation, so we'll talk about that more when we get into, but you're going to try to guess what the elevation is on that hole if you don't know. This is our slider percentage. We are not going to deal with sliders for quite a while. Slider was the very last thing I learned, and I'm actually still learning it. Very effective, but got a lot of learning to do. We need to learn this part first before we get into sliders. Sliders, the very last thing we're going to learn. This is our ball strength. This is what ball strength we're using. So I'm going to push this. There's our ball. This is basic. This one right here is basic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, basic ball, which is the power 0. Power 1, power 2, power 3, power 4, power 5. Power 5 balls. That's what this right here does. This is our ball power. Make sure it's right, because if not, again, on that 200-yard shot, you're going to be off. This is our wind down here. Soon as the game starts, I type the wind. Now I'm going to hit reset, which is right here, to reset the wind. When the game starts, it'll tell you what your wind is, 5.6, and then this right here is the direction of the wind. Okay, you've got all these, you're going to try to guess which way that wind is going. Now, some of the videos you watch of people playing, they're not going to guess the wind. They don't get it. But I found, especially hitting into headwind, if you don't do this, if you don't tell it that you're hitting into headwind, your shot is definitely going to come up short. You've seen it, 6, 7, 8 mile an hour headwind, and you're like, what the heck just happened? If you're actually using the rings, it's because of this. When you tell it it's into headwind, it's going to have you pull more rings. And here's an example. If you look right here on your Guardian, you're at 5.2 on max, okay? If you weren't in headwind, watch what happens. 4.4. You're only pulling 4.4 if it doesn't know. Or if you were in tailwind, watch what happens. Watch what happens to this 4.4 right here when I go into tailwind. It's going to have you pull more because the ball is being pushed. Okay, same thing with headwind. It's going to change it compared to no wind at all, or compared to side wind. So something to keep track of. After your shot, so right now we're at 10% elevation. And elevation, the way elevation works is probably 70% of all the shots that we're going to be hitting in Golf Clash are downhill. They're 5% or 10% downhill. The majority of them are downhill. Some of them are uphill. So this right here shows that we are downhill. The game, this controller is set at downhill as a standard. When you come in here, it's always showing downhill. But you can change it with the negative. Negative means we're hitting the ball uphill, and that's what that symbol right there is. We're hitting the ball uphill. And it's rare, 10 to 15% of the time we're actually hitting to an elevated green. So it's very rare, but it is out there. What else on here? Bag. We can select our bag from this screen. You can actually, by pushing the club here, all of your clubs, so you need to make a quick change. All your clubs are in here. So normally in my bag, 1 is my extra mile. But if I was to click that, I could quickly grab my APOC, and now it's active, and all the numbers for it are active. You can do that with any of these, and all I'm doing is clicking here, and it's opening up, a slide wheel for the club. So they're all in there as well. So let's talk about setting up. You're going into a match. As soon as the screen comes on, it's your turn. You see instantly that the wind is blowing at 5.9 miles an hour. You either know the hole or you take a quick look and like, man, it looks really flat. So I'm going to go 0 elevation on this. Your clubs automatically over here, all of your wind poles are over here for every single club, just by entering the wind and the elevation. The wind was blowing in your face and across to your right. All the elevations are here. Max distance is the top one, middle distance, and minimum distance of your club. I assume you guys know what your max and minimums are because you feel it when you're sitting here on your Viper and you push it too far and boom, it clicks into your APOC. You've just went past the 3.7. You just went past max of your Viper and it clicked into APOC. Can mess you up, especially when you're pulling. If you're at your minimum of your Viper and you're pulling your rings 2.9, all of a sudden it clicks over and now you're into your whatever the hell that club is. I don't remember now. But Guardian, I believe. But anyway, it'll mess your shot up because instead of pulling 2.9 like you were, now you're pulling 2.4 and you're going to overshoot the shot or undershoot the shot. So that kind of gives you an idea of how to work the golf notebook for Golf Clash. This thing is key, man. Again, as soon as you come into a game, it's your next shot, you're going to enter your wind. Okay, so what I did is I hit the reset button right here. The wind on this shot is 5.3 miles an hour, and it appears, looking at the wind arrow, it appears it's going straight across. My pull, my very first shot, it's my APOC. My pull, almost all the time with your driver, is going to be max. 5 rings is what I'm going to be pulling. We're going to get into how to pull on a live shot here in a minute, but you want to set up, again, your elevation. So I always set up my wind first, hit my wind arrow, then I grab my elevation. I've already set my ball. I know I have a Kingmaker. I've already set the ball. I don't have to touch the ball up here. It's already set. So all I'm doing is the wind arrow, elevation. Done. It's already calculated. So I'm in this app, just a couple seconds. I mean, literally 2 seconds max, I'm in this app. Now, I play with an iPad, which I'm showing this on, but my notebook is actually on a tablet, an Android tablet. So I have my Android tablet open, so I grab it first, I set up my wind, figure out what my pull is, I let it go, and I come over to my iPad and actually play the game. That's how I play. This app is available and can overlay onto an iPad, or I think it's even available on your phone, but I'm not teaching that side of it because I don't know that. I tried it when I very first started playing Golf Clash with Notebook, and it was cumbersome to me. There was a little tab sticking out. I didn't like where it was, and it also disconnects you for a second. If you've been playing with someone, you see they disconnect for a second, that's what they're doing. They're going over to their Notebook app, they're plugging in the wind to figure out how many rings they got to pull. I just didn't like it. I've got a tablet sitting here that wasn't being used, so I put my game on my tablet. So I think that's everything here. I don't want to make this video too long. It probably is already, but I wish I had someone to teach me how to use and set up Notebook from the beginning, because it would have made it so much easier. I didn't. There were no videos out there I could find of someone showing you how to set this up. So that's why I made it, my first video ever. So let's see how it goes. Next video I'll be making is playing the game using this Notebook app. Okay, I'll talk to you later.